Welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Minna Daniels. Now the headlines. President Tinubu to attend Joint Arab-Islamic Summit in Saudi Arabia. As nominations for WTO DG close, Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala emerges sole candidate. And over 130 homes destroyed by Los Angeles wildfire. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will depart Abuja on Sunday for Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to attend the Joint Arab-Islamic Summit, which will focus on the current situation in the Middle East. A release by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, states that the summit will commence on Monday, November 11, 2024. It is being held at the invitation of King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and follows last year's summit in the same Saudi city. During the summit, President Tinubu is expected to address the ongoing Israel-Palestinian conflict, emphasize the Nigerian strong call for an immediate ceasefire and the urgent need for a peaceful resolution. Nigeria will also advocate for renewed efforts to revive the two-state solution as a pathway to lasting peace in the region. Key officials, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, will accompany the President. Other members of the entourage are National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed Mohammed. Ambassador Peter Olberg of Norway, Chair of the General Council, informed WTO members on 9th November that no further nominations for the position of Director General had been received by the deadline of 8th November, and that the incumbent Director General, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is therefore the only candidate for the role. Director General Okonjo-Iweala confirmed her willingness to serve a second four-year term in the role in a letter to the chair on 16th of September. On 8th October, the WTO formally commenced the process for appointing its next Director General, with members given until 8th November to submit nominations. WTO DG Okonjo-Iweala's current term comes to an end on 31st of August 2025. And the White House Advisory Council is working out modalities to make it easier for diaspora members to go beyond individual remittances and participate in pooled investments, create opportunities for Nigerians in the U.S. to partner with local entrepreneurs, support small and medium-sized enterprises, and invest in larger development projects that foster stability and economic growth in Nigeria. Executive Director, President Joe Biden's Advisory Council on Africa Diaspora Engagement, USA, Laurent Mantley, stated this at the plenary presentation at the close of the 7th Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit in Abuja. Deborah Balagbobo has details.
Executive Director of President Joe Biden's Advisory Council on Africa Diaspora Engagement, Laurent Mantle, says the summit aligns with its mission to bridge gaps in communities, create pathways for investment, and amplify the influence of Africa diaspora while commending NIDCAM for a successful summit. She reaffirms PAC-8's commitment to building robust platform and partnership that enhance the diaspora impact.
The African diaspora is one of the most dynamic, innovative, and committed communities within the United States. This community continues to contribute to the United States through entrepreneurship, education, healthcare, culture, and public service.
So we're glad with the initiatives of the American African Diaspora Council under this administration, and we look forward to working with the council and thank the U.S. government. We want to work with you. We want to build this country together. We want to ensure that, you know what, Nigerians at home work with Nigerians in the diaspora to build this great country of ours.
NIDCOM boss reaffirms the Commission's dedication to creating partnership that leverages on resources, skills, and aspirations of diaspora for Nigerians' advancement. She further expressed hope for ongoing collaboration that will build economic resilience and create job opportunities across Nigeria. The 7th NDIS, which lasted 3 days, had as its theme adapting stability through diaspora investment, navigating the path of prosperity. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbobo, NTA News.
And more than 130 homes have been destroyed by a raging wildfire in Los Angeles as a break in the weather gave firefighters a chance to tame the blaze. Let's join Kolam Mohammed for the details.
After surveying the damage, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an emergency proclamation to help crews extinguish the Southern California wildfire. Authorities said at a news conference that since it broke out in the morning, the nearly 32-square-mile blaze has sent thousands fleeing from their homes, damaging its structures in addition to the homes destroyed. Aerial images show plumes of rapidly glowing mountain fire in Ventura County, California. Thousands were urged to flee an out-of-control wildfire burning around communities near Los Angeles, with scores of homes already lost to the fast-moving flames. Helicopters worked to drop waters on an out-of-control wildfire that grew rapidly near Los Angeles, fueled by fierce seasonal winds. The fast-growing mountain fire had consumed 20,000 hectares, destroyed dozens of homes, and forced thousands of people to evacuate living abodes. Kolam Muhammad, NTA News.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi on Saturday warned that the wars in Gaza and Lebanon, where Israel is battling Tehran-backed groups, could spill over beyond the Middle East. Speaking on state TV, Araghchi said the world should know that in case of the expansion of war, its harmful effects will not be limited only to the West Asian region. Insecurity and instability can spread to other regions, even far away. Iran's arch-nemesis Israel has been waging a devastating war in the Gaza Strip against Iran-backed Palestinian militant group Hamas since it launched its shock attack on Israel in October 2023. Israel has more recently shifted its focus to Lebanon, where it has been engaged in full-fledged battle since September with Hezbollah, a Lebanese militant group that is financially and militarily supported by the Islamic Republic on October 26. Israel conducted airstrikes on military sites in Iran in response to Tehran's October 1 attack on Israel itself, retaliation for the killing of Iran-backed militant leaders and a Revolutionary Guards general. Iranian officials said Israel's October 26 attack killed 4 soldiers and resulted in limited damage to radar systems. Iranian media also reported that a civilian was killed. Tehran has since vowed to retaliate despite the U.S. and Israelis' warning against it. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has maintained that a potential ceasefire in Gaza and Lebanon could affect Iran's response. On Thursday, an advisor on Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, cautioned against an impulsive response to Israel. And moving on, authorities say that several people have been killed after a bomb exploded at a railway station in Pakistan's Balochistan province. Dozens of others were injured in the blast, which happened as a popular morning train was about to leave Quetta station in southwestern Pakistan for Peshawar. A militant group, the Balochistan Liberation Army, has claimed responsibility for what police are deeming a suicide attack. There has been a recent surge in deadly attacks in the province, driven by demands for independence and control over local resources. The city's commissioner has said that many people were killed, including the suicide bomber, and about 50 others were injured in the blast. Senior police official Mohammed Baloch said the explosion was thought to have been caused by a suicide bomber carrying 6 to 8 kg explosives. Reports say that among the dead and injured were both civilian and the military. The African Women's Conference is seeking to continuously engage African leaders to be deliberate in mainstreaming gender issues, especially women empowerment and ensuring digital inclusivity. And the resolutions at the 2024 AWC in Lusaka, Zambia, Nigeria's Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, in a message also reaffirms the country's commitment to global and continental steps on gender equality. Joy Osiagwu reports.
The African Women Conference AWC annual meeting of experts, institutions and individuals promotes growth, stability and development of African women, and its latest edition convenes over 200 participants from countries across the continent. After a 3-day engagement dwelling on digital advancement, harnessing its potential for the African woman, conversations identified infrastructural limitations as major constraints for women entrepreneurs to drive inter- and intra-African trade, as well as economic empowerment using technology.
Too often, tech spaces remain male-dominated, stifling diverse voices and ideas. By consciously promoting women leaders in technology sector, we create role models for the next generation.
If we use our natural capabilities as African women and leverage the power of technology,
Nigeria's Minister of Women Affairs represented head African Union ECOSOC and key players want implementation of such targets.
And this resonates so well with the vision of the African Union of an integrated and peaceful Africa that is driven by its citizens and that represents a dynamic force in the global arena.
And so going forward is going to be one of the areas of focus, how we can make life easy for women, connect them to the inter-African spaces where they can also trade.
Not only gaps and needs, but also the solutions to basically bridge those gaps and address those needs.
Setting up a website.
Delegates believe this conference in Lusaka has again fulfilled AWC mission of building networks that seeks Africa's solution to Africa's challenges. From Lusaka in Zambia, Joy Osiagwu, NTA News.
The federal government has constituted a 9-member committee to review the bilateral investment treaties in the country. Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, inaugurated the committee in Abuja. As part of its terms of reference, the committee is mandated to also review the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council Act. The AGF wants particular attention paid to reforming the laws and guidelines on existing treaties with other nations in a manner beneficial to Nigeria's interests. The committee, chaired by Mrs. Funke Adekoya, SAN, has a timeline of 4 months to complete its assignment. This is to clarify and inform the general public that the First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, is not organizing a national prayer. A statement signed by Busola Kukui, SAA Media, to the First Lady says the news making rounds on some conventional and social media platforms is unfounded and misleading. Consequently, it calls on anyone who might have come across the purported news of the joint national prayer for Nigeria to disregard it as false. The statement notes that whilst the First Lady, a Christian and strong advocate of prayer and praying for Nigeria, believes that prayer is an act that must be done willingly, conscientiously and correctly, she also believes that praying for Nigeria is a responsibility of every Nigerian, irrespective of religious belief, political affiliation, tribe or tongue. It therefore advises members of the public to verify the authenticity of any news or event involving the First Lady of Nigeria or her office through the official channels. You're watching the news on NTA International. Time now for a little breather. We have more reports thereafter. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us again. The first special agro-processing zone supervision mission to benefiting states has ended with a wrap-up stakeholders evaluation meeting in Abuja, where implementing partners commended the impact of the program on smallholder farmers. Kelvin Ehoanaye reports that the mission was carried out in collaboration with the federal government and International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD.
The 7-year AFDB, IFAD and Islamic Development Bank assisted SAPZ program is being implemented in 7 participating states of Kano, Kaduna, Cross River, Kwara, Oyo and Ogun, as well as FCT. It is a comprehensive agro-industrialization program designed as a tool for creating integrated agricultural focused platforms that will accelerate private sector investment in value-added agro-processing to unlock opportunities for improved food security, job creation, and rural poverty reduction. The stakeholder supervision mission to the benefiting state was to evaluate how well those objectives are being met. And this meeting in Abuja gave the key players in the program an opportunity to aggregate the inputs from farmers and support mechanisms.
The progress that we have seen in the fields during this early phase is already a strong indicator of the potential of this ambitious and instrumental SAPZ project.
We have to be committed, but importantly, we have to be coordinated and we have to be compliant to ensure that we meet these deliverables, add our quota to the food security of this nation in line with Mr. President's Renewed Hope agenda.
Outcomes from here are expected to guide support agencies and partners in helping the farmers and offer advice to the states to ensure smooth implementation. In Abuja, Kelvin Ehoanaye, NTA News.
The Nigerian Police Force has inaugurated a steering committee to adequately implement the Juvenile Crime Prevention and Control Project. Francis Fom reports that the project aims to address the root causes of juvenile crime and provide solutions.
To the glory of God, and I believe you will deliver the mandate given to you.
Having acknowledged the devastating effect of crime and offenses being perpetrated by young people in communities across the country, the Nigeria Police Force has recognized the urgent need for a comprehensive approach towards addressing the root causes of behavioral problems of young people. So, the need for partnership with the Center for Peace became imperative.
I implore you all, as members of this steering committee, to ensure that you take this assignment very seriously, so as to deliver positive outcomes that will help to address the ugly trend of juvenile crime in our country.
The steering committee has a mandate to monitor the implementation and effectiveness of this project in ensuring that the programs reach the youth most in need.
Charity, they say, begins at home. And this cases starts from the family because of neglect. So we are trying as much as possible to bring these children together from both partners so that we can sail them to the right direction.
This conference is going to end up with what we call national policy on juvenile crime prevention. We don't have it. We must have it. We are going to come out with juvenile counseling center in public schools as an outcome of this project.
This proactive approach in juvenile crime prevention aims to foster a safer, more resilient society. The conference report is designed to hold annually across states in Nigeria and the FCT. Francis from NTA News.
Cyber attacks on health systems are growing worldwide, and the World Health Organization says it has become a life-threatening issue, inhibiting especially correct diagnosis. Kolom Mohammed tells us more.
In an address to the United Nations Security Council, World Health Organization Director General highlighted the escalation threat of ransomware attacks on healthcare facilities, warning that these cyber attacks go beyond financial disruption. They can be issues of life and death. He cautions, calling for decisive international action to bolster cybersecurity protections and safeguard patients' lives and trust in health systems.
Surveys have shown that attacks on the healthcare sector have increased in both scale and frequency. And this is because of the success the hackers got in attacking hospitals or health facilities. Let's be clear at the outset that ransomware and other cyber attacks on hospitals and other health facilities are not just issues of security and confidentiality. They can be issues of life and death.
Cyber attacks have rendered several live and living components dangerous and also disrupt coordination for credible and safe service delivery in critical sectors. Before now, financial and more recently health service delivery are having direct effects on life and the health status of the global community. Kola Muhammad, NTA News.
The Defense Headquarters says troops have intensified offensive operations against terrorists across the country. Synchronized airstrikes by the air and ground forces dislodged terrorists from their enclaves, killing several of them. A statement by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, states that on 6 November 2024, the air component of Operation Hiding Kai conducted targeted airstrikes on terrorists located at Kuala Ram and Arena Chiki Islands in Borno State. The strikes eliminated more than 70 extremist members at Kuala Ram and several others killed at Arena Chiki. Similarly, during the week under review, troops neutralized 169 terrorists, arrested 641, while 181 kidnapped victims were rescued. The Defense Headquarters stressed that ongoing operations severely depleted the rank and files of terrorists and assured troops' determination to sustain the attacks to eliminate all threats. To keep the nation's highways free from accidents this Yuletide, the Federal Road Safety Corps has commenced a rigorous campaign focusing on passenger awareness on the road. This new shift is aimed at reawakening passengers and Nigerians in general to the need to stay alive as they celebrate. Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi reports that event involves rallies and town hall meetings.
To the sector commander, FRSC Delta State, Frederick Ade Ogidon, the Ember Month sensitization campaign with the theme Speak Up Against Dangerous Driving, Crashes Kill More Passengers Than Drivers, is to create in passengers the need to speak up when a driver overspeeds. He said the reckless behavior of some motorists create distressing environments for travelers, government agencies, and stakeholders.
It's our duty to inform people to make sure that they know about their safety. And this time that we are emphasizing on passengers' need to speak up. You know, most of them have realized the need and their right to speak up when the driver is not driving well.
On the streets of Asaba, the road safety officials address citizens on their rights and duties to stay alive while commuting on the roads. At the town hall meeting with drivers in attendance, stakeholders discussed their obligations towards ensuring safe arrival of passengers at their destinations during the Ember Month. Some of the drivers shared what they learned from the sensitization program.
We have to enlighten the drivers on how to operate their vehicles within the rules and the limits of road safety.
They've oriented us much concerning how to be more careful on the road, especially in areas of overspeeding. Though we have been warning our drivers also, we monitor them from time to time, especially making calls while driving.
The command is actively training its officers for the task ahead. This sensitization campaign continues throughout the Federation. In Asaba, Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi, NTA News.
The news of the death of NTA's Joy Osiagwu has been described as a rude shock to everyone, especially the lives she touched during her sojourn on Earth. Joy Osiagwu passed on to glory in a hospital in Abuja after a brief illness. The question is, who was Joy Osiagwu? Oyemi Ajayi tells us more about her and how she would be fondly missed.
A warm welcome to Network News. I am Joy Osiagwu.
Joy wasn't just a colleague. She was a friend, a source of light and a cherished part of the NTA family. Her passing has left an ache that words can hardly express. From the very beginning of her career, after completing a national youth service, Joy made an indelible mark at NTA Channel 5. She became a voice of reliability and professionalism, delivering the news with a compelling presence that left viewers not only informed, but touched by her warmth. Joy wasn't just a brilliant reporter, she was an exceptional human being. For many years, she served as NTA's correspondent in Canada, representing the network with unmatched dedication and grace.
When I got to Canada, I took a short course in broadcast performing arts just to gain the Canadian experience. On a typical day, we had an hour of theory and spent the rest of the day on location, covering events, scripting, editing, post-producing, and presenting like we do at the Nigerian Television Authority.
Yet, despite the accolades and accomplishments, it was her quiet strength, her kindness, and her genuine smile that defined her. In her personal life, Joy embodied the essence of family. She was a pillar, a breadwinner, who carried the weight of her family's hopes and dreams. As a wife and mother, she stood as an unshakable shield for her husband and children, offering love, support and strength in ways that only she could. She met every challenge head-on, never backing down, always giving her best. Her sudden death, following complications from surgery in Abuja, leaves a void that no one can fill. She leaves behind a grieving husband, 3 children and an elderly mother, and a host of friends, all united in their deep sense of loss. Joy was a woman who made those around her feel seen, heard, and loved. She touched lives with her genuine spirit and unwavering resilience, and she will be fondly missed by all who had the privilege of knowing her. The NTA family mourns deeply, as do so many others who were touched by her kindness. Joy Osiagwu's legacy is not just in her work, but in the love she gave, the strength she displayed, and the light she brought to every room. She will live on in our hearts, and we will carry her memory with us always. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Amen. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
And now let's check on Sunday's weather prospect for Nigeria and other cities of the world. And that's all we got. Thank you for watching.